Hi everybody, I'm Tony Schaefer here at the Chicago Auto Show, and this is the Hyundai Kona EV. Now the average person might not know that Hyundai and Kia have been doing some really great things with hybrids and plug-ins. This year, along with the Hyundai Kona and the Kia Niro, they're bringing full EVs to the American market. So let's take a few minutes and let's see what the Kona has to offer. The Kona is a pure EV. The 64 kilowatt hour pack is expected to deliver around 238 miles of range. To put this into perspective, that's right on par with the Chevy Bolt's 238 miles. But I gotta tell you, my personal experience, from what I've seen of Hyundai's hybrids and EVs, I would not be surprised to see real world results easily exceeding 238 miles. So the cabin here is extremely spacious. Now I'll say it's extremely spacious for the front seat. In a little bit I'll show you the back seat and how we lose a little bit of space back there because of the seating here. But if you're the driver, of course, you can throw some shade to the people in the back. You don't really care about them that much. Heated and ventilated seats work very well, and the seat is fully electric. So pretty much an infinite level of adjustability to make it exactly the level of comfort that you want. So the good news is that the back seat has a foldable armrest with cup holders. The bad news is that I don't like sitting like this. This is not very comfortable for adults. There's absolutely very little leg room. I've ridden cheap seats on airplanes that provided more space than this. Unfortunately, you have to pray that the driver has very short legs. Otherwise, I would put children in the back and not adults. They would not be very happy back. Now, as I mentioned, Hyundai and Kia are essentially the same company, and the Kona is the little brother to the Kia Niro. Let's put this into perspective here. This car is 13 feet 8 inches long. The Toyota RAV4 by comparison is 16 inches longer than this car. And this car is just shy of 6 feet wide, which is the same as an average sedan. 5 feet 1 inches. This is not a very tall car. And again, comparing it to the RAV4 has 5 inches on this. So this is a good small size for a CUV. If you need a larger EV, you might want to look at the Niro EV. So carrying along the theme of this is a smaller crossover utility vehicle, the cargo space with the seats up, you only get a little over 19 cubic feet. Now, as long as I'm comparing this to other cars, the RAV4 has 37.5 cubic feet in this space. And don't get me wrong, this is not a bad little space. It's larger than the trunk of an average sedan. So I'm not trying to undersell it. This is not bad. Now, where you gain is when you fold the seats, you get 45.8 cubic feet. Again, comparing it to the RAV4, you get almost 70, but still, this is not that bad. And the seat is pretty smooth with the back, so you wouldn't have a problem putting larger items back here. So all in all, for a small package, this is pretty good cargo space. So the Kona does not come with a spare tire. Now, in other EVs and plug-ins, we've seen the tire has been cast aside due to weight restrictions. So what do we get instead of a spare tire? Well, you get secret hiding spaces. So under the cargo area is a formed styrofoam tray where you can hide your secret stuff and people can't see that it's under there. And just when you think you've seen it all, under the tray is another tray. So you have two places to hide different sized things under the cargo area. And they all just slip in and it closes and no one can see that anything's there. Now, anyone familiar with driving a hatchback knows that you really don't like leaving your valuables on display in your car. So having a space like this where you can hide your things is really a great security feature in and of itself. So the Kona has an onboard 7.2 kilowatts charger for level 2 charging. That's expected to get the car from completely depleted to fully charged in about 9.5 hours. Now, if you're new to EVs, you're thinking 9.5 hours, oh my gosh, that's way too long. But think of it this way. You come home from work, the car's not yet fully depleted, you plug it in when you get home, you watch your shows, you go to bed, you get up the next morning, and the car's fully charged. So 9.5 hours is just while you're sleeping, so get over that. If you're on the road and you want to make a stop for some quick charging, you have 50 kilowatt level 3 charger, which in 75 minutes could get you from fully depleted up to a fully charged battery. Now, overseas specifically, they use 100 kilowatts for really fast charging. That hasn't yet come to North America. But if it does, the Kona already supports it. And in that case, at 100 kilowatts, it would charge a fully depleted battery in under an hour. So the Kona comes in 3 models: the base model, the mid-range model, and the top level. Now, unlike other EVs, this has nothing to do with the range. All of the Konas are expected to deliver 238 miles. This has all to do with creature features. So the base model MSRP is $36,450. The mid-range goes up to $41,150, and the top level is set at $44,650. Now, I realize that might seem like a lot for a car. Don't forget to subtract the $7,500 federal tax credit. This means the top level package would come down to $37,150. And if your state offers additional incentives, it's even cheaper. For example, Colorado provides an additional $5,000, which would make the top level Kona EV only $32,000. All the different packages come with loads of safety features, too many for me to list here. But they do include Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Additional options with the higher level packages include sunroof, leather seats, heated steering wheel, heated and ventilated front seats, a heads-up display, a touchscreen, dynamic radar cruise control, parking assist, and even more stuff on top of that. So let's face it, this is a fully loaded, affordable, long-range EV. There is no denying that the Hyundai Kona EV is an important CUV to hit the American market. Unfortunately, the Kona is only scheduled to be available in California and other states that adhere to the CARB regulations. So for now, if you aren't in a CARB state, you're either going to have to go looking for one, or hopefully there will be more penetration in the non-CARB states. But if you really do want one of these, the Kona is worth your attention. And you know that if Hyundai releases any new announcements about the Kona EV, we will certainly talk about it on What Drives Us. Subscribe to our show at youtube.com/whatdrivesus. If you would rather listen to audio versions, you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and Spotify. If you want to follow us online, be sure to look for our Facebook page at facebook.com/whatdrivesus. I'm Tony Schaefer, and this is the Hyundai Kona EV here at the Chicago Auto Show.